I was not impressed with Dak Prescott.
There you go.
I was
not impressed?
No, because I think the Cowboys ran an offensive system that made no sense. In the first half, Dak threw the ball 26 times, and I think they ran it 16, 17 times in the first half. They were out of balance because I think that Jerry sent the message down, this is going to be Dak's big game. Dak's going to come out here and light up this beat-up secondary, and Dak's going to have this great game, and we're going to prove that Dak's a franchise quarterback. And Dak was terrible in the first half and kept the game close. In a game, they crushed him in time of possession, doubled him in yardage. Dak throws for 455 yards. This game went overtime. They couldn't get it. This was a Dallas led from start to finish, basically, never trailed, and the guy threw the ball 54 times. Makes no sense. Run the football. If they had run the football and used a balanced attack, this game would have been 26-7.
Yeah, look, to your point, Dak kept the Eagles alive. Yeah. He did for 3 quarters, but he was amazing in that 4th quarter, amazing in overtime.
Last ball was knocked down. It was a fluke touchdown.
Does that count? Does that
count?
No,
okay, but it was not great defensive play.
It was.
Yeah.
Greater
Bad
offensive
throw.
play.
No, by Amari Cooper.
But the point of this is not his best game. I don't think this was Dak's best game. This was maybe his greatest game in terms of impact. Trash-talking divisional foe Super Bowl champion comes into your house. And guess what you do? You handle business. And you put up career numbers for Dak Prescott, who we've always talked about being a little too conservative, especially in today's rules and playing the quarterback position. And more importantly, he took the governor off. And I told you, as a Dak critic, I was like, this week's going to be different for Dak. Something told me his spicy comments coming back at the Philadelphia Eagles. Who? She? Oh, Dak was like, I'm outside the normal comfort zone, and I'm now going to show you more of my personality. And I think it showed on the field. Dak to me, took it to a different level.
He saw the Philadelphia injury report just like you and everybody else. I mean, he knew what he was going to be fixing.
In that secondary, right?
Yeah.
I hear you.
No, I'm not. I'm at the same opinion I had going into that game last night is the same opinion I still have about Dak. Yeah, he had his best game ever. Good stuff. He didn't play that well for 2 quarters and a half. I mean, going into the 4th quarter, he started to turn it around. But this is a guy who finally had over 300 yards. He hadn't done that all season long. Right. He's got great players around him now. He's got a really good #1 wide receiver, the best back in the business. You can argue that. He's got a really good offensive line, a great defense. Yeah, you can win. And I'm not going to be surprised if they go to the playoffs and if they get past the first round, maybe an NFC championship game. Who knows? I think they have that talent around him. But he's not that franchise quarterback. I don't think he's that guy that you're going to give $25 or $30 to $35 million. Jerry wants him to be that way. I'm sure the other teams in the division, because once you give him that money, you're not going to have that balance on that on the offensive defensive roster. So I like him a lot. Dak is a great guy. I've hung out with this guy in person. I even hate saying this stuff about him because I want him to have success, and I hope he keeps improving. But right now, just looking at the numbers, there's no way that he is that franchise guy. He's a guy who needs to be surrounded by the right people. And if you can do that, if you can get him, Jerry, to take $20 million a year, and you can keep building the team around him, then do that. But I don't think Dak's going to want that if he goes to the playoffs this year. He's going to want his money and say, look, his agent's going to say, I need $28 million a year for this kid. And now Dak's going to have to make a decision, or Jerry's going to make a decision.
I'm sold on Dak Prescott because of Amari Cooper. That's why I'm sold on Dak Prescott. And when you look at this stat, it talks about most wins since 2016, Tom Brady at 33, and then Dak Prescott with 30, and then Roethlisberger with 29. At the end of the day, what matters?
Wins.
He's been able to win.
Let me tell you the names that should be on that list that you just gave. Robert Kraft, Jerry Jones, and the Rooney family. Those are who those wins should be credited to.
I'm gonna tell you, I disagree with that because players equate to wins and what you put around them. And the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones understand he may not be a Patrick Mahomes, a Jared Goff, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady talent right now, Russell Wilson. But if we develop and put the pieces around him that make him better, that give him more confidence, this is what we can have. And it's been proven to work for them. And I don't think they care about what anybody is saying, specifically us in the media, to where Dak Prescott needs to be this Patrick Mahomes difference maker with all this talent. No, he just needs to not turn the ball over. And when it matters in the 4th quarter, which is what he did yesterday in overtime, make plays and get it into the hands of your playmakers, he's done that.
I'm watching that game yesterday, and I'm just so – Dallas's defense is just – it's legit.
It's 100%.
Totally legit. And I just started thinking, I was like, you know what they should do? They should commit to the Baltimore Ravens 2000 formula. Trent Dilfer, just don't screw this up. And instead of this kid throwing the ball 26 times in the first half, let him throw it 12 times, run Zeke, and let your defense carry you. He's a better version of Trent Dilfer. And they're trying to make him into something he's not. That's what I felt watching that game yesterday. If they would just acknowledge, man, look at these linebackers. Look at the way our secondary covers. We have a potential Baltimore Ravens-type defense. Roll with that and don't let this kid screw it up because he did in the first half. Because you said that's what they had. They had a game where the defense is playing lights out, the running game is going, and Dak had Philly in the game all the way into the fourth quarter.
I don't know if they're trying to mess this up or look at that formula and say we can't duplicate it because the NFL is different now. You're talking about 18 years later, rule changes, protecting the quarterback, inflated numbers. Like the Trent Dilfer model almost seems antiquated when you can protect the quarterback in the pocket like you can.
Keep thinking.
All right, this is untimely criticism from you and Tony about Dak Prescott. Think about it. Like, this is one of Dak's best games.
Yes.
And there have been times where you came into this season high on Dak. This is a game where you're like, this actually helps.
I react to new information, and those first 3 quarters said a lot more than the fourth quarter. The kid's game-winning touchdown pass was lucky. The ball should have been batted down. Amari Cooper made a hell of an adjustment on one of the long balls that was underthrown and made the catch. And again, quarterbacks do that, and I'm glad he put it out there for him to make a play. But I'm watching that game for 3 quarters and say, hey, man, just don't screw this up. And he screwed it up for 3 quarters. If they weren't playing Philadelphia, there was a hot mess, they would have lost that game.
I'll leave you with this. This is something our boy Max Kellerman used to always tell me. He's like, in terms of untimely criticism, the time to criticize the fat dude is not when he's leaving the gym with the sweaty wristbands. Think about it. He finally did something. You still going to be on his head?
Okay.
Like, Dak did something now. This is not the time, y'all.
You're talking me into it. Okay. I'm sold.
Oh, wow.
No. I'm going to say this. This is the way I answer it. This is the way I answer it. Because I like Dak. I'm sold on Dak this year. I'm sold on Dak next. If he can, because Jerry, good job, Jerry. You surrounded this kid with the right talent, so I'm sold on him this year. But eventually you're going to have to make a choice. Because Jerry already said, Amari Cooper's coming after my money, and I'm going to give it to him. Okay? You got to max him out. Then you going to max out those linebackers. You're going to max out the quarterback, too. You got to max that running back out coming out soon. Dak cannot be that quarterback he can't be that franchise quarterback. But I'm sold on it at this point. And going forward, yes.
I think they understand that, which is why we have not heard Jerry Jones say, Dak Prescott is coming after that money. No, because they understand, look, no, son, we need pieces around you to get the best out of you. Now, when you start elevating everybody around you instead of those around you elevating your level of play, then you can call the shots.
And that's what I'm saying about Dak right there. I don't think he's not that quarterback right now.
Right.
He's not yet.
Y'all all
but this is year 3.
Y'all all saying the same thing I'm saying. Y'all just trying to be polite about it.
Yeah. They like that. Hey, listen, I like Dak too, but damn, the numbers
I like Dak.
Nice people.
I mean, I like Dak, man. He was on the right side of the national anthem issue. A lot of things I like about Dak. He just can't throw the football, man.